Martins.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Grassroot Chats with me, the host and the captain, MC Sabi Boy, and of course with my co-host and co-captain, Mr. Dwayne P. Frank. What is
All
going on,
right.
Dwayne? How have you been? It's been a week. It's been a week. How's it all going?
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling Brady. Just saying, innit? Know what I mean?
Well, but to be fair, you were feeling Mahomes last week, though. You
Oh,
weren't quite
oh.
sure. You weren't quite sure Brady will do it. All of a sudden, now you're feeling Brady.
Do you know what? I have to apologize to the Brady faithful, innit? Sometimes you have to realize never go against Brady. I learned my lesson, innit? I learned my lesson.
Well, it was good. I am happy. I've always been one of those that if somebody is in a winning streak and if he's the best or she's the best, then I don't understand why people just automatically want them to lose. I mean, I've been hearing about Mahomes. He had a good last year. He seems to have everything, but it looked like this Super Bowl he was found wanting.
He got found out. He was scored well. I love it when a plan comes together like that.
So when
Everybody wrote off Brady.
so when you say he was found out, are you saying he was pretty much he had nothing to offer for the game?
He got schooled. He got schooled well. Don't get me wrong. We know what Mahomes is all about. Mahomes is all about gung ho football. That's what he's all about. When I say football, I mean American football for you guys who are watching. Right? He's all about that life. However, he was stifled. He was smashed. He threw interceptions. The whole season, he did not throw one interception. Super Bowl comes, the most critical game of the year. He fell apart.
So are you trying to say, well, considering the fact that he won it last year, we cannot actually say the occasion got to him. So
No,
I mean,
not at all.
obviously, winning a second one would have been a greater incentive. It would have been him.
100%.
It would have been him being four rings behind Brady if he won that. But
Yeah.
so what happened then? What?
Don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. This situation with Mahomes and Brady reminds me of those who know their tennis. It reminds me of Nadal and Federer. Okay. And what I mean by that is we know Mahomes is going to win another 3-4 at least. At least. You got to remember
How
this
do you
guy
know,
is
though? How do you know?
come on. He's got the best he's got the best offense. Oh, no, let me rephrase that. He has the second best offense in NFL football right now, behind Tom Brady. Tom Brady has the best offense. He's got everyone in a nutshell. However, the arm, the physique, the skills, the speed, the rushing, Mahomes has it all. It doesn't. It's one of those things where you put a B plus running backs behind him. You get the tight ends around him. B plus. I'm not even talking A star. If you have minimum B plus around him, he's going to deliver. If you give him what Tom Brady has, he'll stay on top for 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Well, saying that you can look at it that way. But Tom Brady is not retiring. At least according to him, he's going to go until he's 45. He's 43 now.
Yep.
In other words, are we to say that Mahomes will just be number two till Brady retires?
Boy, this is a tough one. This is the thing. We know Mahomes is going to want retribution next season. We know that already. Right now, Kansas City are the favorites for next year's Super Bowl already, because we know it's going to be a revenge mission for Patrick Mahomes, Kelsey, Tyreek Hill. It's on. It's on. It even came out that I can't remember the name of the manager, the coach of Tampa Bay right now. He was supposed to retire. What is he, 64, 65? He said, no, star, I've got Brady. What do they call the team? It's not Tampa Bay Buccaneers anymore. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We know if Brady ain't there, they ain't doing anything. But as long as Tampa is in Tampa country, they're going to be there again.
Well, the interesting thing about it is when I actually saw that, Brady had taken his seventh ring, blah blah. He's writing history, all that story. So one of the things that actually got to my head is last week, You said to me, Brady is the hungriest man slash 100 sports personnel
I
in,
did.
in the world.
I did.
I didn't necessarily agree with you. And
Mm,
then we're talking about titles and things that he has won, what he has done.
mm-hmm,
So now I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and this is based on accomplishments.
mm-hmm,
Lewis Hamilton, 7-time Grand Prix winner.
mm-hmm.
What makes Brady's hunger bigger than his? That's one. Two, Serena Williams,
You asshole.
20, 23 times, 23 times, still going strong. She swept aside, can't remember her name in the Australian Open already. She's gotten to more finals than possibly most people.
Mm.
Please tell me how Tom Brady is hungrier than those two.
First things first. Tom Brady is 43 years of age. Remember this,
That means
okay?
that only tells me he started late. That's all it
Let me.
tells me.
That doesn't tell you it started late because
That's
the
what it
guy
tells
started
me.
when he was.
That's what it tells
Well,
me.
well, well, let me inform you. He started
Inform
when he
me.
was 18, 19 years of age. Okay,
Okay.
so he didn't start late in football terms. He
Okay.
was drafted fifth or sixth. That simply means five or six teams thought that Brady was not good enough.
Before you
How
continue,
wrong were
before you
they?
continue, all I mean when I say he started late, I mean he started achieving late. I mean, look at how old was he when he got his first Super Bowl?
I can't remember.
How old
I
is
can't tell you.
Mahomes?
I can't tell you. I can't tell you right now because I
How
don't
old is
remember. I don't. I
Mahomes?
don't want to lie about it.
How old is Mahomes?
21.
He started early.
Mahomes started early, yes, but the Arsenal that he has around him compared to what Brady had around him, you can't even compare. That's not
No,
fair.
no worries. But before we digress, and yeah, you're about to tell me why Tom Brady is even better a sports personnel than Lewis Hamilton and Serena Williams.
The I think you need. In fact, I think the world needs a documentary on this week. No, not this week. Sorry, last week's work ethic. He went through the roof. He actually got injured last week because of how much he actually put in. He went on a different scale. He came into the game with a minor injury. Okay, it was different levels. I'm talking the same things that Chris. You know what Cristiano talks about? First one on, first one off. I mean, the last one off, and what have you off the pitch. This was he went to different levels last week, above and beyond. Don't tell me that Lewis Hamilton, fellow Grenadian, God bless you. Don't tell me this guy is doing the same levels because he's not. We know this. Shall I tell you why? If you look at social media, the amount of exposure that he has on social media, the amount of pictures, the amount of stuff on Instagram. Go find Tom Brady on Instagram. Go find Tom Brady on Facebook. Go find Tom Brady on all these other social media sites doing this. Tom Brady is the equivalent of a Ryan Giggs, a Michael Essien. You're not
So
going to find him gallivanting around and
So
doing all this
I'm
stuff.
confused. I'm confused here. So what you're telling me is because Hamilton seems to be a bit more out there and seems to be on social media and probably prefers to take a lot of pictures.
Mm,
You 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 think that is a reason why he's not hungry?
I didn't say he wasn't hungry.
No, no,
I
no, but
said Tom
no, no,
Brady was
but
hungrier.
yeah, that's fine. But then one of the reasons you're putting out there is because of social media. That's not good enough to determine how concentrated you are in your trade simply because you take one person takes more pictures or one person likes to be out there. Please give me another example because that Instagram one doesn't fly. You need to give me something else because I'll tell you for free. Lewis Hamilton has to maintain a particular weight because any weight higher than what he goes will affect the speed and the measure of his car. So that what we're trying to say here is that for and since his career, he has had to keep a certain weight, and that's probably hard because, as you say, he's a man that likes to go out, likes to fashion, likes his extracurricular things. He likes to live a life apart from racing. He also, and when you say maintain a weight, he cannot go above and he shouldn't go below a particular weight, and that's hard considering the fact that he loses 4 to 5 kg every race. So that means you have to maintain that. So that's just an example I'm giving you. Serena Williams, I mean, she broke up with me, but I'm still very loyal to her, regardless of whether she. I mean, she broke up with me and she doesn't know. I mean, she doesn't even know we ever had a relationship. But the in terms of achievements, and my point I'm trying to make is, I understand you making a case for Brady being the hungriest sports personnel out there. I understand age wise, keeping up with the game, but you need to give me something a bit more. And to start with, American sports are usually just 6 months. The other guys are playing 9 months, close to a year, traveling more outside Europe and all that. So you need to give me a bit more. Don't worry, I'll give you time to think. I'll probably attack you off air again or something.
Do you know what? I don't need time. I'm going to squash your Lewis Hamilton rubbish. Okay. I'm just going to squash
Okay,
that
go.
because that was the greatest ammo you could give me. In fact, I salute you for being a dum dum. Okay. So
Thank you.
you're talking to me about weight issues.
Mhm.
Okay.
I give it's an example.
As an
It
example. So
wasn't
let
a
me
weight
destroy it.
issue. It's an
Let me destroy
example.
it. If you're quiet enough, I'm now going to have to destroy this. Okay. So you're talking about weight issues, sustainability, and what have you. How old is Hamilton?
I don't
Tell,
know.
tell me, tell me, tell me, tell me something. Is
I
Hamilton
mean,
in his is he in his 30s or in his 40s?
I think it's in his 30s.
You think he's in his 30s? Should I tell you that I know he's in his 30s?
Okay.
Okay. Are you telling me that his metabolism is faster or slower than the aging 43-year-old Tom Brady?
Well, you see, let me tell you where that
Don't go
point
around the
doesn't
houses.
stand. Let
No,
me
no,
tell,
no. You're not a politician.
let, let
Last
me
time I
let me
checked, you're
let
not
me tell you.
conservative. You're
Let
not
me tell
Labour.
you.
You're not
Let me
Lib
tell,
Dems. You're not. Where you
let
going?
me
You don't need that.
let me tell you where that point doesn't stand. Tom Brady has been an active sports person since he was 18. So in terms of keep maintaining a metabolism, you cannot use his age. He has been an acting sports. He has been an active sports person since he was way before he was 18. So maintaining a diet, especially in his line of sport, American football, maintaining a diet is nothing new to these guys. So if you want to use metabolism and age, that doesn't really count because it'll be easy. I'll tell you now that it is easier. Mark Noble for West Ham is 35. He's younger than most men out there, but it would be so easy for him to maintain his metabolism and his weight because he has been a sportsman since he was like 12. So that doesn't count. So before you squash it, think, think.
Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Are you trying to tell me Hamilton has not been a sports star all his life
In a car where
in a
he
car?
doesn't. I tell you, he doesn't. His practice, the practice for American football, the practice for tennis, the practice for soccer, football that we watch involves them in an end-to-end diet, running around, and particularly staying fit. With Formula One, the practice is very self-disciplined, very self-disciplined, because at the end of the day what you do is you might be able to maintain your weight, blah blah blah, but whatever practice you do does not determine how you drive. Driving determines how you drive. So you play football, you practice on the pitch, you practice all the running, the set pieces, all that, because all that will lead to the game. With Formula One, the driving is what you do at the end of the day. There is no amount of practice. Yes, the virtual screens and all that, but there's no amount of practice off the driving that you do that actually contributes to the driving, apart from your body, your weight, and all that. The driving is all in here and skill set. So it's actually easier for the likes of the footballers, the tennis players, and every other sport to maintain their metabolism than Lewis Hamilton.
I think you need to stop taking drugs. Genuinely, I'm worried. I'm worried about you. Like I'm listening to you, and it's a lot. It's a lot right now. You're cutting me deep
I
with the
said,
stupidity that's coming out of your mouth. I
no, no,
need, you know what? I need people on Twitter, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, whatever this gets uploaded on. I need you to comment and tell MC Sabi Boy why he's not doing it today.
no worries.
Something's gone wrong in it. Something's gone wrong. Tell me
Well,
what's wrong, because
uh,
clearly something's happened to put you in this controversial, weird mood. I don't understand. I don't,
right.
and the worst thing about it is you actually believe this. You
Okay.
believe the foolishness that's coming out of your mouth. It
I'll
takes a
tell
lot for me to call someone a foolish fool. You are close. You are
you.
close.
I'll tell you what. Let the comments and every other person's contribution come in,
I beg you. I
and then
cannot wait.
and then we'll revisit this. We'll revisit this,
You
and
know what? I'm going to give a
hopefully,
shout out quickly. I'm going to give a shout out to Steve. You know who you are, Steve. Please correct this guy. Correct this guy because I don't like to hear the foolishness that's coming out of people's mouths, isn't it?
no worries. Thank you very much. Moving on. Moving on. Moving on till somebody corrects either one of us. Moving on. So now something that has actually, I'm very relaxed and chilled. I like to just see things as they are. But there's one thing I've never come to understand, and I need you to probably, hopefully, explain this to me. Why is it with all the decisions that are being made, especially when it comes to the beautiful game of football, soccer, for all those in the wonderful US of A and beyond, what I don't understand is, can you please explain to me why the English Premier League, which is supposed to be one of the best, if not the best league in the world, why they always seem to be reactive than proactive? The reason I ask this is simple. I'm going to start from VAR. VAR, when it started, in other countries, the ref was allowed to go up to the screen when the decision had to be furthered on the VAR. With England, it took them over a year before they could do that here. And even with that, the decisions that are being made, for example, Mike Dean's decision against Thomas Sushek at the weekend,
Mm,
was just appalling.
mm,
Every other country decided to stay with five substitutes in a game.
mm-hmm.
In England, they felt no, we had to, yeah, they voted, they didn't vote, they didn't this, they did that, they didn't do that. I don't get it. And for some reason, when it comes to decisions and VR and all the disputes that comes out from it, every other country seems to be far ahead of that situation compared to England. Why are they always playing reactive?
Because unfortunately, we have foolish fools running everything, whether it's from the top, Boris Johnson, to the Mike Deans of this world. Unfortunately, we have foolish fools. You don't even just have to talk about football. You can talk about the COVID situation. Very, very reactive, not proactive. It's just the way it is. Okay. There's a reason, for example, the likes of Australia and what have you have minimal numbers compared to the UK who were mocking it. And, it's just the code, it's going to go. We saw the likes of Boris Johnson going into the hospital, shaking everyone's hand, no mask and what have you. What was he? If I correct this, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm sure the guy's had it twice.
No, he had it once, but he was around somebody that had it for the second time, so he had to isolate regardless.
Okay, fair enough. The second thing in regards to VAR and what have you, stubbornness. It comes down to stubbornness, okay, in regards to the UK. As you rightfully said, everywhere else around the UK, everyone is clearly using the screen. Everybody is clearly, as a referee, saying, you know what? Whistle, second opinion. The second opinion is there. I'm sure last season we even had the VAR monitors on the side. On the side, they were just there for show. It was almost like they were just there as dolly girls. It was like, okay, we're the cheerleaders. We'll stay here and we'll just not be used. Clearly, it's being used in every other league. However, for whatever foolish fool reason, here in the UK, they didn't want to use it. They were stubborn. And sometimes, even when they do use it, like a Sushek situation, they still get it wrong. It don't make no sense whatsoever. I don't understand it. And also, in regards to the five replacements, the five substitutions, they've tried to, have you not noticed? They've tried to sneak the five substitutions in since last game week, okay, in the UK. So what they've actually done, they've still got the three substitutions, haven't they? But they've implemented the two concussion substitutions. So that makes the five, okay? So in regards to that, that's complicated things even more. Now, if someone, I don't want to say fake because hopefully no one fakes concussions, but if there's a possibility of a thought, then of course they can go to that and use that substitution. But that's made it even more complicated because it now means the opposition don't have to have a concussion. They get an extra substitution. So they can have four or five as well. So they don't necessarily want to agree or do what the rest of the world wants to do. They always want to be the shepherd, but they need to realize they're not good at it.
Well, the thing, the you would hope that with other situations that happen around the world, that it'll be easier, considering the fact that you're looked at as one of the best leagues. It'll actually be easier for you to lead the way than to spend time playing reactive based on different situations occurring. I just don't understand what the delay is in making decisions. What's the delay in making changing rules? Why things have to be different when it is so obvious that how I mean, at the start of the season, it was the handball situation.
Mm-mm.
It was obvious that the rule or whatever rule that you were trying to implement wasn't working.
Yep.
They had to wait for a couple of weeks for it to change because who makes these decisions? Why must we go through the road of somebody complaining and somebody going, oh, this is not working before you decide, you know what, you need to change this? I don't understand it. Why always play reactive? I mean, I think it actually, to me, it actually shows the level of how good the football is, considering the fact that with all the crap that comes outside the football still actually stays good. But I don't understand. It would be easier and better if you could actually be proactive than reactive. I don't get it. It's the same thing with reference situations. Um, Same thing with when after COVID, Germany pretty much showed the world and other countries, okay, we can actually make this happen. Then the UK followed. And then, I mean, for you to be one of the top leagues in the world, you would think that, proactive is the way forward. So I'm trying to understand why do more of a reactive situation.
You're using way too much logic. Too much logic you are using. And unfortunately, the UK don't use logic. It's not going to change anytime soon.
Well, let's hope it does. Let's hope it does. You can't keep having reactive situations. Well, it's all good. Let's hope maybe somebody will react to this video, one of them, and
They will to your foolishness that comes out of your mouth.
no,
But
no,
so,
no.
but you're all right for now.
What you need is like a proper straight jacket, injections, and like a mental home. Sometimes the way you think is just. I think you need to add to that, you need like a big massive slap from like a strong guy that that will just clear your brain.
I have the haddock ready for you, good sir.
So now another thing I need you to help me with is which is it takes us into our third situation. I understand mentality works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
For example, sometimes if you're bottom of the league, things are not going your way, luck is not going your way, nothing just seems to be working your way. There is that possibility that you will develop that mentality to think everything going against me. Your mentality gets weaker. You play a game of football, they score a goal against you, you get weakened, you lose the game. And this
Mm-hmm.
continues to happen, that would mean your mentality is getting a bit weaker,
Mm-hmm.
confidence low. So you would think that that should happen in the reverse. You're winning games, things are going your way. You
Mm-hmm.
have good players, you have quality players, everything is wonderful,
Mm-hmm.
which you would think is what happened to Liverpool, especially after chasing Man City two seasons ago, where they finished what, a point behind, and I mean they probably lost more less games compared to City. They
Yep.
came back the following season, and they won the league. So
Yep.
you would think the mentality is getting stronger.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So all of a sudden, yes, they've lost Van Dijk, Gomez, Matip, and they don't particularly have like a very recognized centre back. However, what has in the last couple of weeks, what has dented that mentality to make them look exactly how they look now? Because they bought Thiago, who is in the midfield. Yes, they still have the first front three, but those guys are walking to most teams in the world right now. They have an abundance of midfield. And yes, Van Dijk is a big, big loss, but we can clearly see a lot of the issues going on with Liverpool now is mentality. So how can you go from mentality of champions to what they are now?
In my personal opinion, I don't think it has been just the last few weeks. I think the mentality situation has been overshadowed by their wins. It's like anything else in the life of football. When everything is winning, everything is sugar coated over. When you're losing, it all gets exposed. And I don't think this situation has just occurred since the turn of the year. I think this has been happening since back in October, November. This is my personal opinion as far as it's concerned. All right. Now, these games that Liverpool have been playing, they've been getting tighter and tighter and tighter. I don't want to harp on about it, um, but I genuinely feel that the mentality also comes down to the likes of the fans as well, or lack of. I keep saying it, and I probably do sound like a broken record, right? You've got to remember how important it is to have your fans there. How beautiful is it if your name is Sadio Mane and you put in a hard tackle on someone and the crowd erupts, and then you go near the sideline and then you've got an 8, 9 year old kid, Sadio, you know, and these sort of things. Can you imagine what it's like being a football player, being watched by all these people, being pushed, being said, being told, yeah, you are winners? They haven't got that now. Now it literally is you on the pitch versus them on the pitch. Okay. Yes, they lost their record of this home fortress and what have you. Then they went and lost the second game. Now they've lost three in a row at home. Now everyone's saying that it's what's the word? Panic stations. I don't think it's panic stations now. It was panic stations before. The only difference is they were winning. It was sugar coated. That's the difference between then and now. I guarantee you, if Liverpool start winning or they win the next 2, 3 games, everyone forget about this. I
Well,
guarantee it.
well, if you mentioned the fact that of no fans, but they won the league without fans in the stadium. That's one. Uh, Two,
The second part, they won the league.
yeah, which would probably be the most difficult after coming from the whole COVID situation. However, in terms of what will we say now? In terms of mentality, so they went through a period where they lost some games and they won two games on the bounce,
Hmm.
and then now they've lost to Brighton, and of course they lost to Man City. So,
Take out Man City because they are the best team in the UK
but if we look at the argument here is okay. Let's assume it's not the crowd. Let's remove the crowd. What else could it be?
in regards to mentality. We're talking, yeah.
Yeah, but what has affected the team so badly in the space of because a lot of people thought they would crumble after chasing City that season and finishing
Mm-hmm.
second, even if they lost fewer games.
Mm-hmm.
They came back and they won the league. They even actually played better.
Mm.
So, other than the crowd, a lot of people have mentioned, oh, maybe they should have bought more players, or the front three are getting tired, yada yada yada. What else could it be?
But the thing is, the two things that you just mentioned, the latter two things, you have to take them into consideration. Um, I also feel their style is different. It's a little bit different, okay, and that's due to loss of players as well. You know, if I was having this conversation with someone the other day, and it was someone that loves to talk over people, right? And I was trying to explain, and I wasn't able to finish. So for me, they miss, of course, any recognised centre back. They miss Henderson and Fabinho, and I'm going to explain what I mean by that. Yes, physically they're on the pitch, both of them, but my gosh, they miss both of them in the central midfield. They have absolutely nobody in that team right now who plays the first time passes that Henderson plays. That's one. They have no one right now in that team who plays a defensive gra midfield position like Fabinho does. That's two. They now have, who's that guy that you just said? The Bayern Munich guy. Okay,
Thiago.
Thiago. Thiago, okay. They now have Thiago, who is, in my opinion, very similar to Jorginho, who I still think is ridiculously good. All right. And now he's back in the Chelsea team, just so you know. They now have Thiago, who has changed his style. Thiago doesn't play fast paced football. It's not his style. So if you watch the way that they play, they've slowed the game down. It's a different style. You'll also notice this season the amount of times that Mohamed Salah has played through the middle as a number 9. I don't see Salah as a number 9. I don't see it. It's almost like they're trying to do that thing that Tottenham do with Son. You know how Son normally gets beyond Kane, right? It's almost like they're trying to do this style. I don't like it. They're changing their style and it's not working. It's being exposed. Now they've lost 3 games in a row. Everyone's like, oh,
They've always
panic
played.
stations.
They've always played with Firmino dropping deep though, then getting the ball and supplying it to Mane and Salah.
Yes, they have. But we have seen recently Salah starting as the out and out number 9. Okay. I don't like this style. This is my personal opinion. In my opinion, I will gladly have him do that against Aston Villa all day, all night. We eat him up. Breakfast, panyard yam. Okay, simple as that. But it's a situation that I'm looking at right now. I'm looking at differences. I'm looking at different styles, and sometimes even the people that they're bringing in and they're exchanging. No disrespect to Shaqiri. No disrespect. All right. We know Shaqiri is a good player. Is he a great player? No. Is he on the levels of Mane and Salah? No, of course not. Right. So we do have to look at the different players and different mentality. Do you trust the players? Even last week, was it Keller that came in for Allison? Do you trust Keller the way that you trust Allison? Yes, people may talk about Allison's last mistakes that he made. Probably top 2, top 3 goalkeepers in the world. It happens. It happens. So I think it's more than mentality, but I do feel that the mentality ideology, this has been there since November.
Since
Certain
November.
team destroyed them 7-2. I'm not going to mention their name in it, right? But it's one of those things where the mentality changed. It changed a while ago.
So you think the 7-2 affected their mentality badly?
I think it affected them. I think
Even if
people
even if they
realize
won 7-0 against Crystal Palace.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This is what I'm talking about, right? Sometimes it takes time to recover. I'm not going to be extreme and talk about UFC, 3 to 6 months to recover and what have you. But sometimes mentality changes. It does change, especially now with the
It's
3
clear.
losses in a row at home.
It's clear
Now
that the
it's no longer
mentality. It's
fortress.
clear that the mentality has changed. I
I
just want
think
to
it
know.
changed time ago. I
I
just
just,
don't think it changed a couple
I
of
just
weeks ago.
want to. I'm just trying to understand why. How do you go from having mentality of champions to?
Bruvs, if I knew that, I would be the psychologist of any Premiership team, and I would be making money well.
I'm very happy for you.
I don't like you too tough, so I wouldn't take you with me.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. Well, what to look forward to at the weekend is UFC 258, Kamaru Usman versus Gilbert Burns.
Okay,
Uh,
okay, okay.
before we say good night, it's very simple. Who's going to win that fight?
I think we might see a new champion.
So you're going with Gilbert Burns.
I actually think Gilbert Burns is going to get this job done. I don't want him to get the job done. I'm an Usman fan, not the same level as you are, but I am an Usman fan. However, if Gilbert gets him to the ground, I think it's over.
Well, no worries. I will try not to say anything for now. We shall see what happens come next week.
No, you should say, because then next week, if you're wrong, I will out you.
No,
I will out
all
you.
I'm saying is very simple. And still,
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is what I want. This is what I want.
and
But
still.
I've just got a feeling that Gilbert Burns is going to get the job done. I can't remember what is the name of Gilbert's training partner. What is his name? I've forgotten his name. Anyway, the point is, Gilbert, if he gets him on the ground, he'll submit him.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this has been another wonderful episode of Grassroot Chats with the mental Dwayne P. Frank, and of course your host MC Sabi Boy. Well, hopefully we shall see you and speak to you in the weeks to come.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Yeah, have
yeah,
a
yeah,
good
yeah,
week
yeah,
and
yeah,
bye
yeah,
bye.
yeah, yeah, yeah. No one wants to hear your voice though, weren't it? So I had to put something else
Yeah, I'm sure they want to see my face though, compared to
in.
yours.
Change your name to the beard. That's what we need to call you, the
All
beard.
right, bye bye.
Cheers.
Ahai,